There ain't no grave can hold my body down. There ain't no grave can hold my body down.
Crosshairs of the woke mob right now. So before my final nail gets put in my cancel culture casket, I think I'd like to set the record straight on so many of the blatant lies that are out there about myself right now.
Welcome back to another episode of Media Villains that airs every Saturday. And what Media Villains is, it's basically my reaction to all the hot topics from the week. And you guys just sit back and enjoy. You know, there has to be some sort of counseling or something that these NFL teams have to do for these young players. When you're a young man and you have a lot of money, you feel very powerful, kind of sort of like a demigod. And you can see that with the attitude of these athletes. I mean, you have a Georgia linebacker that is accused of rape. Then you got a Ravens linebacker that got shot at a nightclub. Then lo and behold, you have Henry Ruggs, who got in trouble for DUI and basically could face prison time. Henry Ruggs, a player with wasted potential because of bad decision making. And I feel so bad for the victim and the victim's family of that car crash. Can you imagine like the phone call the parents got, or the brother? And TMZ, the most evil network, I think, in history, and I may be exaggerating, but TMZ can get the finger. One, how do they always catch things in advance before everybody? And then two, why would you post a video of Henry Ruggs in the lowest moment of his life, and then you show the fiery car crash, and somebody was in it, and you post it online to get clicks? And then another thing too I want to talk about, if Henry Ruggs was drunk and his girlfriend was sober, his girlfriend shares the blame. Because if she was sober and she knew that Henry Ruggs was under the influence, why didn't she drive? You see, that's why you have to watch the people you date, the people you hang around with, because when situations like this happen and you're surrounded by stupid friends, you win stupid prizes, and it makes the situation 10 times worse. You know, in ancient Rome, the emperors would use sports to distract the citizens to keep them happy. Nowadays, it's a completely different ballgame. Sports are politics. If a lot of people liked Colin Kaepernick, then what he said wouldn't be as controversial. But ever since Colin Kaepernick kneeled for the anthem, a lot of people do not know his true intentions. Not only that, we don't see enough results from what Kaepernick has done. He just seems like a guy that has made a lot of money, looking like an old civil rights leader. Now, when he compared the combine and how, you know, the NFL owners would recruit NFL players or future NFL stars, like how slave masters would recruit slaves, it is a little similar, but to me, the average man working a 9-to-5 job, that's more slave labor than a league that pays millions of dollars to athletes. I mean, hello, we are in the era of the Great Resignation. I mean, in America, in August, 4 million people quit their jobs because people are tired of being used. The reason why Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr. have such a legacy is because they were relatable. Colin Kaepernick is not relatable enough. He comes off as a spoiled rich kid. And when he says, oh, an NFL player is a slave, the average Joe that makes $50K is like, wait a minute. If an NFL player is a slave and he's getting paid millions of dollars, then what am I? I mean, goddamn, it just seems like the Browns can never catch a break with superstar receivers. From Josh Gordon to OBJ, with Odell Beckham Jr. expecting to be released or claimed off waivers from a team. I think the team that should claim Odell Beckham Jr. is the Las Vegas Raiders. I think he'll be a perfect fit with that team, especially after the incident with Henry Ruggs. Derek Carr, despite his haters, he is a pretty accurate quarterback and has great deep ball accuracy. As far as Baker Mayfield, a lot of people, especially Browns fans, keep saying that he sucks. I don't think Baker Mayfield sucks. I mean, you have to understand, one, he's playing with a torn shoulder, so that's pretty tough. Then he's playing with the offense that's run first, even though he's a spread quarterback. Like, I think Baker Mayfield is in the wrong offense. He should be in an offense similar to Kyler Murray. That's why Kyler Murray is having so much success. But what Baker Mayfield showed me in the second half of last year, even in the beginning of this year, that first game against Kansas City, like, he has the potential. So I don't know why he's getting so much hate. Like, it's easy to hate somebody when everything is going wrong, but this is a test. We will see if Odell Beckham Jr. plays for a different team and he's better, and if Baker Mayfield plays better without Odell Beckham Jr., then we all know it's just chemistry issues.
Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers now admitting he has not been vaccinated against coronavirus after contracting the virus earlier this week. But instead of admitting that he had misled the public to believe he had been vaccinated, Rodgers is now blaming the, quote, woke mob for how he's being treated, perhaps creating a new definition for the term cheesehead.
Some sort of anti-vax flat earther. I am somebody who's a critical thinker. You guys know me. I march to the beat of my own drum.
What do you make of Rodgers' reaction to all this? I mean, he was the one who led everyone to believe he had been vaccinated, and now he says he's being targeted by a woke mob, which I'm not sure he even knows what woke means, if that's what he's talking about.
Mr. CNN guy, or whatever your name is, that condescending attitude that you have, that's that woke personality that Aaron Rodgers is talking about.
What a surprise that this is the guy we thought was so smart and well-read, and turns out that he doesn't even have the courage or the guts to say that he wasn't vaccinated.
Did you hear what Aaron Rodgers said? He said that he's a critical thinker, something that CNN does not advertise. So of course he's not smart to you.
You automated.
Mr. Blandy, code red, free thinker.
CNN likes those hive-minded people, hive-minded woke folks. Now, I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers fan, and I do not like the fact that a lot of Packers fans never hold Aaron Rodgers accountable, but I do have to respect him for standing his ground. I am not against free thinkers, but we all know ESPN and CNN is. You mean to tell me that CNN is so afraid of somebody thinking for themselves? They are afraid of Americans using their power. Like, the fact that you make this a segment about Aaron Rodgers not getting vaccinated when there is bigger problems in this country. Yeah, that sounds like propaganda to me. I mean, CNN, they're known to be liars, so why are you getting mad if someone lied? Like, aren't you guys liars too? The thing that gets me is that if the vaccine works, like CNN and everybody that is vaccinated is trying to say, then Aaron Rodgers having COVID shouldn't affect the people that are vaccinated. Because if you're vaccinated and you are around somebody that has COVID, you should be immune. But if you're not, then what's the point of taking the vaccine? Like, I'm so fucking confused.
Hi, this is a little message to the unvaccinated. You are killing everyone. It's your fault. I am vaccinated, okay? And so I'm protected because the vaccine is safe and effective. So if you're around me and you're unvaccinated, then you're putting me at well, you're not. Okay. So you're selfish because if I'm protected and you're around me, then I'm fine. But you're me. Sorry. If you're not vaccinated, then you're not. You're racist, is what I'm saying.
Week, a lot of tragic injuries had happened. Jameis Winston tore his ACL. Now he's out for the season. The tight end for the Green Bay Packers tore his ACL against the Cardinals. You have Derrick Henry, which I am so disappointed in his injury because that really stopped him from being the first player in NFL history to have two 2,000-yard rushing seasons. I mean, he was on pace to run for 2,000 again. Like, that dude's a legend. Now the Tennessee Titans have Adrian Peterson as their running back, and hopefully he can give the Titans somewhat of a running game. I mean, we all know that Adrian Peterson is going to give it his all on that field. I mean, that dude was an old legend. It was very fun watching him when he was for the Vikings. So I'm excited to see how he's going to play for Tennessee. Then you got the New Orleans Saints quarterback situation. I know Sean Payton is playing it safe by starting Trevor Siemian over Taysom Hill, even though I wanted Taysom Hill to start personally because, you know, I felt like Taysom Hill was more exciting, but that's just me as a fan. Sean Payton has played well with a lot of different quarterbacks, and the system that he has, I believe a lot of quarterbacks can thrive. Jameis Winston was having one of his better seasons, so it's unfortunate that he got injured. Michael Thomas is also injured, but they still beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so that just shows you how good of a coach Sean Payton is. Then you got the New York Jets with Mike White. He gets injured Thursday, and then Josh Johnson plays one hell of a game. I mean, I know he had a turnover, but he did play decent for a guy that came off the streets. As far as Mike White, he has been on fire. I mean, the game against the Bengals and then the first quarter against the Indianapolis Colts, like, this guy has a lot of potential, and I think the Jets should see how far or how high the ceiling is for Mike White. And that's another thing that these bad franchises don't do. Have your young quarterback sit behind a solid quarterback, a solid starter. If Zach Wilson can learn from Mike White, take advantage of that, okay? They shouldn't make it complicated to where it's like a quarterback controversy. It should be like, you know, Zach Wilson sits behind Mike White as Mike White builds his trade value. In the end, everybody wins. Man, this play was hilarious. This is a fake kneel by Bowling Green. Now, one of the commentators was saying, like, he should go down. But when you're 2-6, who gives a hell?
We don't care, we don't care.